absolutely love New Orleans. I think that this city is magical. I think it's eccentric. I think that it is just like spicy and just expressive. Like, New Orleans is definitely one of a kind. Like, there's not another city you can go to and say, boom, this is just like New Orleans. Like, it's not gonna happen. New Orleans is the only city in America that's not American at all. Like, there's things that we do here that the rest of the country is like, huh? So I decided to put together like a list of 10 things that I think people should know about New Orleans before they move here. I think that because New Orleans is so different, there's just certain things that you need to be made aware of before you just show up. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about these things. New Orleans is great. It's a great place to live. If you have a job where you work remotely, or maybe you work like for yourself. I've met people who are in tech industry who like move around different places, like they love it here. If you are in hospitality or like the medical field, I think that you'll have a lot of great options in New Orleans. That's it. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm a real estate agent, so I do work for myself, but I remember the days when I would be looking for jobs, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like there's really not a lot to choose from. Another thing about New Orleans is that it's all about who you know here. So in order to get like a really good job, or like a job you just really want, like it really helps if you know somebody, or if you know somebody that knows somebody. It's just so hard to like get in some of these places. So it's a definitely word of mouth kind of city, and you just want to make sure like that you have like a plug. Something else too, I would say, it's great if you're like a Black business owner. I think that New Orleans definitely goes hard for their Black owned businesses. Like, they are going to support each other through and through. But if you're trying to come down here and open up a restaurant, your food better be good. Because if the food is not good, your restaurant will flop. If the food ain't good, it's word of mouth. So everybody going to let everybody know your food is nasty. Number 2, the cost of living. So the cost of living in New Orleans is going up just like it is in other places. But the cool thing is there's a lot of areas outside of New Orleans where you can kind of get more for your money. So I feel like New Orleans prices aren't as high as some places, because as a real. Number 3, the weather. If you are a tropical kind of person, you know, you love being in the sunshine, on the beach, you love for the sun to kiss your skin, you're gonna love New Orleans. We are like, our weather here is like warm, hot, and hotter. Like, winter time, it might be cold for like a few days. Like, what is cold? Even like if it's in the 50s here, people are like, oh my gosh, it's freezing, I need a scarf, you know? But that's just us. But like, if you do not like the heat, baby, this might not be the place for you. I'ma just let you know right now, because it's hot. In the summer, legit, you might have to take 3 showers in a single day. I'm talking, come out the shower, feeling good, go outside just to get in your car, and you're like, let me back up, I need to get right back in the shower because it is hot out here. But once again, if you don't mind the heat, you're gonna love it. Alright, number 4, hurricane season. Y'all, when it's hurricane season, like, oh man, that's like, I think hurricane season here is from June to November. So it's just like months of like crazy anticipation and bad nerves because we don't know what's gonna happen. So when it's hurricane season, you just want to make sure that you have everything you need in case something happens. And the city's really good about mailing out reminders when it is hurricane season and just kind of sending you a checklist of things to have in your house. But with hurricanes, you know, they're like tornadoes, like kind of, but not really. It's like a tornado in the sense that it's coming your way, but it could change direction at the last minute. But with the hurricanes, like, honestly, I hate hurricane season so much. It's just so nerve-wracking. And speaking of hurricane season, if you have pets, then you just need to be prepared that you might have to evacuate this city at some point. I'm not saying it's going to happen next year or in the next 3 years or 5 years. I really don't know. But you just need to make sure you have a game plan for that. If you don't have pets, but you really want a pet, just make sure that you're prepared to have the money you need and the plans you need if you have to evacuate with your animal. And I say that because some people end up having to stay home and they cannot evacuate because they cannot find a hotel that accepts pets, or family members who might be allergic so they can't go to their house or whatever. So I just say, keep that in mind. I personally would love to get a dog, but I'm just not at the place yet where I have a backup for that. Like, we would love to get a Frenchie, my husband and I, but we have to wait a little bit. So if you're an animal lover like me, I know it sucks, but just letting you know. Alright, so now we're moving on to number 5, which are the roads. Once again, there is no positive side to this. Our roads are busted, y'all. Like, the roads in New Orleans are so bad, and like the potholes, I promise, like some of them just appear overnight. Like Monday, the road was fine. Tuesday, huge pothole. Where did it come from? So New Orleans is built on a swamp, so that's why we don't have like level ground, and that's also why we don't bury people here, because if you dig 6 feet, it's gonna be water. Okay, so we just don't have that here. So it's just one of those things. You know, I live like 15 minutes from New Orleans, so where I live, like the roads are fine because I'm on higher ground. But if you want to be so New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? You want to be in New Orleans proper, just be prepared that those roads are nothing nice. Number 6, cars. Going back to hurricane season as well as the roads. I am an SUV kind of girl. I want to be high off the ground, but that has to do a lot with the condition of the roads. Like, they are busted, and also hurricane season. Like, if you have to evacuate, then you gotta go. Like, you need to make sure that if you can, totally up to you, I would suggest that you have an SUV elevated off the ground, also have a lot of space in your car where you can put as much stuff as you need in it, and then you hit the road. Like, if you're a truck kind of person, Ford F-150, Dodge Ram, Toyota Tundra, whatever, that's great, because I'm telling you, like, my husband and I are going to get a truck pretty soon. Like, in the next few years, we're going to get a truck, and I might not drive it as much, but I'm telling you, if you have a truck, you smart. You are smart. All right, moving on. Number 7. So, be prepared. I don't have a positive for this either, but just be prepared that the car insurance here is high, okay? We have high car insurance. A lot of that is because there's a lot of uninsured drivers and a lot of car theft as well. So, I don't really know what to tell you, except just be prepared that you might end up paying more than you want to pay. Number 8, the people. I feel like the natives of this city are the ones who make it so vibrant. Like, people from New Orleans are so dope because they're just real. Like, they're just real. Like, nobody here has a reason to be fake. Like, if you don't like somebody, if they don't like you, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do fake stuff, and we also don't try to flaunt around here. New Orleans is a small city with a big name. So if you try to act like you're somebody, like if you try to make more of yourself or your situation than it really is, like, people are going to call you out on that, okay? But the people here are really fantastic, and that's one thing I love about living here. It's like, people, like, they're just real, you know? But at the same time, people here are, or can be, pretty, like, emotional. And I don't mean emotional like they cry. I mean, like, there's people here who, if you, like, cross them the wrong way, maybe the better word is reactionary. So it can be small things. Like, if I'm driving on the road and somebody cuts me off or does something stupid, I am not honking my horn. You know why I'm not going to honk my horn? Because I might honk my horn at the wrong person, and they're going to get out their car and they're going to give me the business. And I don't want the business. So not that kind of business. I want real estate business, not that. I'm not passive. I don't let people run over me, but I just understand that you just don't want problems in this city. Like, you just don't want problems. So tread lightly. All right, number 9. This is going to be a big one if you have kids or you plan on having kids while you live in New Orleans. So in New Orleans, the public education system is not the best, but we do have charter schools. Catholic school, like private Catholic schools, are a thing here. And really, they kind of show off a little bit of, like, a family's status in a way. Like, if you go to a private Catholic school, like one of the premier ones, then it kind of lets people know that you have it a certain way. And then if you go to, like, a public school or charter school, it's not anything negative. I mean, it can be depending on the school, but you know, it's just levels to it, if that makes sense. People always ask, like, oh, what high school did you go to? That's like a question here. And they don't really, like, nowhere else in the country do people ask you that. People always ask, like, what college did you go to? But here, when people ask what high school did you go to, it's because, like, they're trying to like figure you out, like they're trying to place you somewhere. Once again, not everybody means it like in a bad way. It's just the thing here. It's just part of the culture. But I would say just be prepared, though, that for a quality education here, parents do pay these private school tuitions. I'm not going to tell you how much they are. Every school is different, but just know that it's normal here for parents to pay tuition for their child all the way from baby to college. Like, it's just the thing. I did not come up that way, but I gotta respect the culture. It's a thing. So just know that. Then the last thing is the food. Oh my gosh, I love the food in New Orleans. It's so good. Like, duh, we don't even have to talk about it. But I do want to say that if you are vegan, New Orleans has, like in the last few years, we have had more restaurants step up and offer vegan options, as well as a few vegan restaurants come up too. I would just say that you're going to have options here, but you might not have as many options as like the next city or the next place. So just keep that in mind. If you're coming from like LA, this is not LA, okay? We do not have options like that, but we might have more than, like, you know, somewhere else. I can't even think of a city to compare it to, but yeah, we just might have more than like some other places. But we are, like I said, we are getting better. I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, but I do pay attention to things like that. My background is in hospitality, so I know when people travel or they move, like that's like a big thing. Well, that's all I have for y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to join our online community, as well as comment below. Tell me something that I shared that maybe you didn't know about. And please also share this video, give it a thumbs up, and thank you again for supporting. I really appreciate y'all. I will see you in the next video. Y'all take care.